There is a part of your mind, beyond logic, beyond reason, beyond the five senses. It does not rely on what you see. It does not depend on what you hear. It does not wait for proof. Yet, it knows. This is the sixth sense. Now understand this clearly. This is not something separate from you. It is something within you. A higher level of awareness that becomes available only when the mind is prepared. It is the point where thought becomes insight, where imagination becomes guidance, where ideas seem to arrive without effort. Now consider this. Have you ever had a feeling that something was right before you could explain why? Have you ever sensed danger before anything happened? Have you ever received an idea that seemed to appear out of nowhere? This is not coincidence. This is intuition. And intuition is the language of the sixth sense. Now understand this principle. The sixth sense does not operate when the mind is cluttered. It does not function when the mind is filled with fear. It does not speak clearly when doubt is dominant. It requires clarity. It requires calm. It requires alignment. Because the sixth sense is not forced. It is received. Now here is where most people fail. They attempt to access intuition without preparing the mind. They seek guidance while living in distraction. They want clarity while feeding confusion. And so they hear nothing. Because the sixth sense does not compete with noise, it responds to stillness. Now understand this deeper. The sixth sense is developed through the previous principles. It is not the starting point, it is the result. Desire gives direction. Faith builds belief. Autosuggestion conditions the mind. Knowledge provides structure. Imagination creates possibility. Organized planning creates action. Decision removes hesitation. Persistence builds strength. The mastermind expands awareness. Sex transmutation provides energy. The subconscious mind executes. The brain transmits and receives. And then the sixth sense begins to emerge. It is the culmination. It is the integration. It is the refinement of all that came before. Now consider this. When your mind is disciplined, your thoughts are focused. When your thoughts are focused, your energy is aligned. When your energy is aligned, your awareness expands. And when your awareness expands, you begin to perceive what others miss. This is why some individuals seem to just know. They are not guessing, they are aligned. Now understand this. The sixth sense does not replace action, it enhances it. It does not remove effort, it directs it. It does not guarantee success, but it increases clarity, and clarity reduces error. Now ask yourself, how often do I ignore my intuition? How often do I feel something but choose logic alone? How often do I override insight with doubt? Because the more you ignore it, the weaker it becomes. But the more you trust it, the stronger it grows. Now understand this. The sixth sense communicates subtly. It does not shout. It suggests. It guides. It nudges. And if you are not aware, you will miss it. That is why awareness matters. That is why presence matters. That is why discipline matters. Because a distracted mind cannot receive clear guidance. Now let us go deeper. The sixth sense often speaks through imagination. Ideas appear, images form, solutions arise, and they may seem random, but they are not. They are the result of alignment. They are the product of a prepared mind. Now understand this clearly. The sixth sense is not magic. It is sensitivity. It is the ability to perceive beyond the obvious, to recognize patterns, to connect ideas, to anticipate outcomes. And this ability is strengthened through practice. Now consider this. When you consistently focus on a goal, your mind begins to organize around that goal. Your subconscious processes it. Your brain filters for it. Your energy aligns with it. And then insight appears. Not by force, but by readiness. This is why preparation matters, because opportunity is often invisible to the unprepared mind, but obvious to the prepared one. Now ask yourself honestly, am I creating the conditions for insight? Am I disciplining my thoughts? Am I aligning my focus? Am I developing awareness? My friends, listen carefully. The sixth sense does not appear randomly. It emerges from consistency. Now understand this. Fear blocks it. Doubt weakens it. Indecision distorts it. But clarity strengthens it. Confidence amplifies it. Action reinforces it. So if you want to develop it, you must remove interference. You must reduce noise. You must simplify your thinking, and you must trust the process. And trust is built through repetition, through keeping commitments to yourself, through following through on what you say you will do, because every time you do, you strengthen your internal signal. Now let us connect this principle to your life. Every great decision, every breakthrough idea, every moment of clarity often arrives before logic can explain it. And those who succeed learn to recognize it. They learn to act on it. They learn to trust it, not blindly, but intelligently, because they have trained their mind to distinguish between fear and guidance. Now understand this deeper. You do not need to force answers. You need to create conditions for answers to appear, through focus, through discipline, through repetition, through alignment. Now consider this. When you are calm, when you are clear, when you are focused, your mind becomes receptive, and in that state, insight flows, ideas connect, direction becomes visible. This is the power of the sixth sense. Now ask yourself, am I allowing space for clarity, or am I filling my mind with constant noise? Because silence is not emptiness, it is access. It is where insight enters. It is where direction forms. It is where understanding deepens. Now understand this final truth. The sixth sense is not something you chase. It is something you develop through discipline, through awareness, through alignment, and through trust. Trust in your preparation. Trust in your process. Trust in your ability to recognize guidance when it appears. Because when it does, it will feel certain. Not loud, but clear. Not forced, but natural. And when you act on it, you will move with confidence. And that confidence will reinforce the next insight, creating a cycle of clarity, action, and growth. Now remember this. The sixth sense is not separate from the other principles. It is the result of them. It is what happens when your mind is trained, when your thoughts are disciplined, when your energy is directed, when your focus is consistent. It is the final advantage, the invisible edge, the quiet guidance that leads you forward. So begin today. Strengthen your mind, discipline your thinking, align your energy, and create the conditions for insight to emerge. Because when it does, you will no longer rely only on what you see. You will act on what you know. My friends, we shall meet again. Good day.